All right, everybody, so I want to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. So parallel lines, think of them as railroad tracks. Hang on one second. All right, so parallel lines are like this. Perpendicular lines are like this, where they intersect at like a 90-degree angle. And then you've got and you've got where a couple other things can happen. So you have two lines, right? And you can have where they're parallel like railroad tracks. They never intersect. Okay, never intersect. There's going to be no solution. Just FYI. Perpendicular lines, one solution. Like an x value and a y value. Then you have, let's just make two different line colors. Pretend one's green and one's yellow, okay? Then you've got like two lines that just randomly, that looks better parallel than the other one I drew. I didn't mean it to be that way. All right, then you've got two lines that just randomly intersect. Doesn't have to be at a 90-degree angle. And then you have two lines that, like, if you've got one line and then you've got another line, literally right on top of it. So they intersect everywhere. So you have two lines. They're the exact same line. So they intersect everywhere. But anyway, just kind of FYI those notes. We're going to come back to those like different kinds of lines, but I need you to be aware of parallel lines have the same slope. So the slope is the number touching x, and then perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. Okay, Kelly. Negative reciprocal slopes. So like 3/2 or negative 2/3, and then lines that have neither one of those relations just don't have those relations. That relationship. All right, so to figure out if a pair is a parallel line, perpendicular line, or neither, you need to put them in solve for y. So that one's slope intercept 1, which is y equals mx b. Remember, m is a number, e is a number. All right, and then look at number touching x, the slope. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to do this guy in black, this guy in red. All right, so 7y equals, I'm going to move this 3x over. When he crosses the equal sign, he's going to be a different sign because I'm really subtracting him. And then that 7 is being multiplied, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to do negative 3x divided by 7 plus 4 divided by 7. And so I'm just looking at the slope, so it's negative 3/7. All right, let's look at the other guy. So I have 14y equals, I'm going to move that 6x over to the other side, and when I move it to the other side, it's do opposite operation, and he's positive, so I'm going to do negative plus 7. The reason I put the x first is because I really would like it in slope intercept form, so I would like the x to come first. And then I need to divide by 14, so I have negative 6x over 14 plus 7 over 14. And let's just simplify everything. So 6 and 14, I can divide everything by 2. So I get 3 7s, and then 7 over 14, that's 1/2. All right, so my slopes are the numbers touching x. Oops. There's an x here. And so the slope here is -3 7s. And so if you look, the slope is -3 7s, -3 7s. So the lines are parallel because the slopes are the exact same. Let's do another one and see what happens with the slopes. All right, are the following lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? So same thing, we need to get y by itself. All right, so we have 3y. When I move this x over, he's negative. So the opposite operation of subtraction, because he's negative, is really addition. So I'm going to add x to both sides. And those cancel. And then I need to divide by 3. Divide everything by 3. Sorry if you can hear me smacking the gum. All right, so x over 3 is the exact same as saying 1/3 x, because there's an invisible 1 touching that x. And then we have the 2/3. All right, and then we have this 6y needs to be by itself, so I'm going to subtract the 2x on both sides, and I subtract because I'm doing opposite operation. So I have 6y equals -2x plus 5. All right, so 6y equals -2x plus 5. So I'm going to divide by 6, divide by 6, divide by 6. So I got y equals -2 6x plus 5 over 6. So -2 6, I can divide everything by 2, and I get -1/3. And 5 6 does not simplify. All right, so the number touching x is 1/3 and then -1/3. Those aren't the exact same numbers, and they're not reciprocals. So the reciprocals are like flips, so it would be like 1/3 and 3, which is the same as 3 over 1, and they would have to be opposite signs. These guys are neither. Let's do this one. All right, there's nothing in front of that x. All right, so we have -2y equals -x plus 3. It's a negative x because I'm moving that x over. So then I'm going to divide everything by -2. So I get y equals -x over -2 plus 3 over -2. So I get -x and -2, so it's really like a -1. So -1 over -2 is really like a 1/2 plus 3 over -2, so it's really like a subtraction of a 3/2. Now let's do the other guy. So I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. So I get y equals -2x plus 3. We're done there. So that was super nice. All right, so the slope right here is 1/2, and the slope right here is -2. So they're reciprocals because -2 is the same as -2 over 1. They're opposite signs. One's positive, one's negative. So this means that they are, oopsies, they're perpendicular lines. All right, so now we want to find the equation of the point containing the point 4, 4. So it's an x, oops, and a y, parallel to this line. All right, well, first we need that line to be in slope-intercept form, which means y is by itself. B and m are always numbers. So I need to move that 2x over. When I move him over, I'm subtracting him because he's positive right there. And then I need to divide everything by that 3. So -2/3. And then -6 divided by 3 is -2. So my slope is -2/3. That's what I'm going to use. And then, so I have found my m when I find the equation. And I need to find the b. And I have my x is 4 and my y is 4. So what I'm going to do is, I have my formula. My y is 4. My m is negative 2/3. My x is 4. And my b, that's what we're trying to find out. So negative 2/3 times 4. So I'm going to do that in my calculator, and I should get negative 8/3. Negative 2/3 times 4. Whoa, I just threw my calculator. All right, but I need to get b by itself, so I'm going to add 8/3 to both sides. And I can hurt my brain, or I can just do my calculator do 4 plus parentheses 8 divided by 3, and then go math and change it to a fraction. So I get b equals 20/3. All right, so my y-intercept is 20/3, and my slope is negative 2/3. So my equation is negative 2/3 x plus 20/3, and that's my answer. This guy, I didn't mean to like draw a line through it. Let's do another one just like him. That one had a crazy y-intercept. All right, find an equation. Let's do this one. 2x plus 3y equals negative 6. That's the same here. Where do we get? Negative 2/3 x minus 2. Negative 2/3 x minus 2. Negative 2/3 x minus 2. Okay, so when I convert that, that's what I get. It still contains 4 and perpendicular. So instead of the slope being negative 2/3, my slope is going to be, I'm going to flip it. So I'm going to get 3/2, and it's got to be a different sign. So instead of it negative, it's going to be positive. So y equals mx plus b. So my y is 4. My m is 3/2. My x is 4, and I don't know b. That's what I'm trying to find out. Write a function, so same as an equation. So 3/2 times 4. So on my calculator, I'm going to write parentheses. 3 divided by 2 times 4 is 6 plus b. So I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. So I get negative 2. So I have my slope and my y-intercept. That's all we need to write an equation. So my slope is 3/2 x minus 2. Whoa, what happened? I don't know what happened there. All right, so this is the equation of a line that's perpendicular to 2x plus 3y equals negative 6, and it contains the point 4, 4. All right, let's do this one. Find an equation of a line containing the point negative 6, 2 that's parallel to the line x equals 4. The line x equals 4 is like right here. And if we want something that's parallel, that's this, any of this. So those parallel lines are x equals a number. Well, the only number that x can equal right there is negative 6. So we're done. So here, let's do another one just like it. Y equals negative 7 is right here. I was doing positive 7. Anything perpendicular, these are parallel lines right here, but we want perpendicular lines, so they're going to be up and down. So parallel lines are y equals a number. Perpendicular are x equals a number. So the number that x equals is negative 8. That's your answer. Seems almost too easy, but it's just like some logic. All right, let's think about this one. An undefined slope is a vertical line. A vertical line is when x equals a number, and the only number that x equals right here is 8. Let's do another one like that. Oh, here's another vertical line. All right, so a vertical line is when x equals a number. The number that x equals right here is 8. It happened to be the same thing. That was kind of weird. Do another one. A horizontal line is when y equals a number. The number that y equals right here is 4. So that's your answer. Do another one. Slope of 0 is a horizontal line. The horizontal line is when y equals a number, so we get y equals 7.